Hi there, it's AJ here, and today I'm going to talk a bit about a very important part of us making our websites faster: image optimization. It sounds complicated, but really we don't have to be experts at graphic design or have any special software to do this. We can do everything online and we'll end up with good, professional looking results. Just before I show you the two websites that I'm going to recommend, let's be clear on what exactly image optimization means. What is a well-optimized image? In my pictures folder here, I have a picture that I downloaded from a website called Unsplash. It's an image of three little dogs, and there's no particular reason for me getting that image other than the fact that I love dogs and these guys are just so cute. Anyway, there's two things we want to address. The first is the physical dimensions of the picture, and at 4600 pixels wide it's way too big for my website. My content column's only 1000 pixels wide, so I can't display an image any wider than that. The other is the file size, and this is a pretty hefty 2 point something megabytes in size. We should be able to get this down to less than 200 kilobytes. Apart from anything else, depending on your hosting plan, you're probably paying for storage space on your website, so why waste it with a big fat image when you don't have to? Anyway, let's go and take a look at these websites.
Are you ready for it?
The first is called tinypng.com, and it does one thing and one thing only, but it does it extremely well. It optimizes the file size of an image. You can see here that I've just optimized a PNG, and it was 160 odd kilobytes. It's now down to 30, so that's a massive saving. The other website is called picresize.com, and while it does optimize images like that, it doesn't do quite as good a job as the tinypng website. However, there are a couple of things that it does that tinypng doesn't do, and that is it will crop the image to whatever you want, and it will also resize the physical size of the picture. So let's just have a look and see how well that does. I'm going to browse to that image of the dogs and upload it to the website. That'll just take a couple of seconds, and I'll click continue. So the first thing is, do I want to crop the image? And in this case I think I do. I want these cute little dogs to be the main focus of the picture, so I'm going to take a bit of the top and the left hand side of the image off. So just draw the selection and click the button, and it all happens auto-magically. The next thing is resize your picture. What size do we want? There are some that you can choose here, such as 50%, 25%, etc. But I'm going to go with custom size. That way I can set it to the maximum width that I want, which is 900 pixels. I don't need to be any wider than that. I'm not going to fill out the height, because if I leave it like this, then it will maintain the aspect ratio, which is what I want. I don't want a distorted image. So the final picture is going to be 900 pixels wide by 565 pixels tall. I'm not going to choose any special effects, and I'm not going to choose the quality either. It defaults to the middle one, better, and I found that to be perfectly adequate. So next thing is I'll click the button and we'll see what we get. There we go, we're down to 118 kilobytes. Excellent. If you recall, the original image was over 2 megabytes. So we can use both of these websites together. Now that I've resized this and I've got 118 kilobytes, I could download and save that and then go and compress that on the tiny PNG site. Now if you're concerned that saving and then resaving a JPEG is going to add what they call artifacts to your image, which is just a degradation in quality, I've done some testing on this, and even when I check the images closely in my graphics program, I find it difficult to discern any difference. So if I'm not seeing them, then it's almost certain that your website visitors won't either. Anyway, that pretty much covers it. We'll get on to plugins on the next video, and we'll look at how we can use image plugins on a WordPress site to do an even better job. Not necessarily with the optimizing, but with the content delivery network and also things like lazy loading. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.